Hi, welcome back to Forged by Blackfire Tutorial Tuesday. And last week we learned how to do a basic knit stitch. Before that we learned how to cast on and how to make a slip knot. So this week we're going to learn how to do a purl, which is one of the techniques to make a flat piece of work. So instead of having this kind of texture, this would be all flat, kind of like so. So with a purl, you want to make sure you're at the end of your row. And for purl, instead of going up like this to do a knit, we're going to go down through the top of the stitch. So we're going to come in like this, loop our yarn around our needle, pull it through, and then off the other. It's a little bit more of a complex stitch because it does require a little bit of finger dexterity. We'll be going like in through the top, looping around, pulling through and pulling off, and through the top, looping around, pulling through, pulling off, top, loop, through, off, top, loop, through, off. Also bear with me, I'm still fighting off a cold and cough combo. So if I sound kind of out of it, I'm kind of out of it. All right. So we're back here. So see where on this we have these boopies and then a valley and then boopies. Well, here we don't have those boops. But on the other side, we have like the boopy, the valley, the boopy, the valley, the boopy, but no valley between the boopy and the boopy. And those are very technical terms, I promise. So the best way to determine when you're alternating between a knit and a purl is where your yarn is. When your yarn is on this side of the hook, so opposite the work, so when it's over here, this is when you're on the knitting side. But if the yarn is over here, so if the connected end is on the same side as the work, that's when you're purling. And that's just how it naturally like patterns itself, if that makes sense. So we're gonna review here real quick how to knit, so I can show you a proper series of purling, because it's just easier if I do it that way. And this way you can also get a feel for what the work will kind of look like. So again, on one side, it's flat. So this is all where we just knit. Here's where we purled, and then this is just flat. If we look at the other side, we have a knit, a knit, a knit, a knit, a purl, and then there's a knit and like the knit and the purl, and then another knit. So you have these boopy thingies here, but it's not on the other side. So that makes the fabric lay, or the work lay flat, instead of having ridges. And then when you alternate what you're doing, or if you do like 2 knit and a purl, 2 knit and a purl, you're creating the ribbed look that a lot of knitted products have. So let's try another row of purling. So see, my free or attached yarn is on the same side of my needle as the work. So we're going to come in through the top, loop our yarn around the needle, pull on, and then pull off, in through the top, loop around, pull through, and then pull off, in through the top, loop around, pull through, pull off. Top, loop, pull through. So we're going in through the top, we're going to loop, pull through, and off. And for some people, we have to get creative with how we hold our needles. So you'll notice I'm using my index finger to loop my yarn around my other needle, and then I'm holding this hook between my middle and my index, so that when I have go in through the top, I can use the weight pressure of my finger against the hook, or against this needle to hold them in place while I loop my yarn around the tip of the needle. And there we go. Again, you can see when we've started the knit purl pattern here, it's all one texture, whereas down here you have different textures. And then again, you see the same thing here, except you have the knitting here, and then you have a raised, a low, a raised, and then you just have nothing but raised. And it gives a little bit more of a dimension to the piece that you're working on, but at the same time, if you want something light but you want to knit the product, you're going to want to alternate your stitches so that it lays flat, because it's going to feel thicker if you're just layering knit, 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 instead of knit purl, which makes it lay flat. All right, so next week we'll probably go over how to cast off, and then we'll go on to our next project. So if you haven't already, you can click like and subscribe down here, or wherever it is down here. You can go on Facebook and find me at Forged by Blackfire, and you can even find me on Instagram. I'm there, but I'm not that active yet. So have a great rest of your week, guys, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.